Yes.
Hi, I'm Karen from the Wellness Agents, and thriving in a changing world, and there is always more to learn, is what Wellness Agents stands for. And Caroline is going to be talking with us today. She's really full bottle on flower essences and where they fit with healthcare. And so we decided that we want to branch into things that help you to make decisions about your health that you might not have been introduced to, or you've heard of them. Because most people have heard of Rescue Remedy. It's that sort of product that we're talking about. But of course, flower essences can be used for so many different emotional situations. And so this is our chance to explore flower essences. So welcome, Caroline.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It's good to have you here. So Caroline, her business is Healing Solutions. Is that right? Got
Correct. Yes.
everything right?
Yes.
And she's a naturopath of how many years?
31 years
And have you been using flower essences all that time?
for longer. So I started using them before I was with myself
Yeah,
personally,
yeah,
before I finished qualifications, and they were something that I wanted to bring in when I became a naturopath because I knew from my own experience how amazing they were. I
yeah.
still remember being given my first bottle and go, "Oh, why has nobody told me about these before?" I'd already been so exposed to, vitamins and minerals and changing your diet and all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
But nobody had actually given me a bottle of Rescue Remedy or flower essences until I walked in and this person, and I was like, wow.
So I was introduced to Rescue Remedy when my father died, and my aunt ran a health food shop. And so she actually handed them out, the drops out. I think it was only drops. This was back
Mm.
in 1997.
Mhm.
And she also gave mum an extra syrupy sort of stuff that my husband's aunt thought mum was a little bit out. She had had a bit too much alcohol, but she managed the day very well, which we're very proud of her. Yeah. So with flower essences, they can be used to treat, but also a bit like prophylactic. So just in case, is that true?
Yes, so we often think about using them for the negative side of things, like, oh, I'm feeling really stressed out or whatever, but they can be used for things like enhancing your creativity, or I want to feel more confident as I go in for a job interview, or, I'm doing this thing and I want more to feel more alive or to feel more enjoy more fun. So there's
Hmm.
the positive aspect is another aspect of flower essences that isn't often discussed, and I think is really important as well.
Hmm. And so if someone was already maybe got a chronic illness, so just for anyone that doesn't understand the terminology, chronic means that it's old and ongoing, as opposed to acute, that's something that's just happened. So if someone's on medications for a chronic illness, and it could be something as significant as cancer, where do flower essences fit with regards to, is there any contraindication between the medication and taking the flower essences?
So that's a really good question, and I'd like to break it down into a couple of aspects. The first one is how flower essences work is on our emotional state. And anyone who's got a chronic illness has a lot of emotional turmoil going on because in some cases it's, am I going to survive this? Or is this going to be with me for life? Am I going to be in pain forever? Am I getting headaches? Am I going to always have a headache every day? Am I always going to have knee pain every day? Is this cancer going to return even if I go through these things? How's it going to affect my life? Am I going to be able to enjoy my kids or my grandkids? So there's a lot of emotional turmoil that goes on with anyone going through anything that's chronic in nature. And flower essences are there to help in that situation. They're not necessarily going to take away the pain. They don't take away the mental turmoil that we are going through with those things. But with a change of mind and a change of heart can also bring about physical changes in how we go about things. And the other thing is how the essences work is on a vibrational level. So they're going to work completely differently to any medication you're taking. So there's actually no contraindication to using them with any medication. And that's one of the reasons I love using flower essences is you don't have to worry if people are coming in and are on really long-term or really serious medications for things. You're not looking up a list of, oh, what can they do or what can't they do, because you're working on a completely different level with them.
And I suppose those emotions that are behind a significant illness, they're going to change. So you wouldn't necessarily be on one type of flower essence forever, like
No,
as in like sometimes the doctors will say you're on this and you're on it for life,
yep,
because this is working on that vibrational
and
level.
yep,
That's going to change, isn't it? Because
absolutely.
if
Yes.
even though you've got a chronic illness, your life continues to change. Like there's stresses that if
And different
kids
things come
and
up.
older parents
Yes.
and stuff like that. But
No, and we go through flare-ups. We go
mm,
through, oh, and we also have what I call it's sort of like deep set stuff that's within us. So, we've all got a pattern that we fall back to that comes up. We go, oh gosh, I'm going through. But that's where flower essences are great. You're going through that and you learn, oh, this is the essence and I'm going to do that. Maybe you go and get really impatient and you want some empathians to help you with that. And it might be your standalone essence that you have. And you go, I'll go through that again. I just need that, take that essence. And you might take it for a day or a week. But then there's other stuff that's more longer term or more shorter term that you're using. So, you could have a blend and it lasts for a week and transform how you feel, and not need another essence for another couple of weeks. Or you might go, okay, there's long-term stuff here. I need support for a long term. The thing about flower essences is you can use them for as long as you like, and they're not addictive.
mm,
You're not
mm,
going to suddenly be stuck, oh, I need a bowl of rescue remedy or I can't go out the door. It doesn't work like that because the more we rebalance ourselves, the more we change. It's like peeling back the onion there. Oh, I got rid of that. I no longer
yeah,
need that one. Okay,
yeah,
what's new?
yeah. What I do see, one of the biggest assets is that they're not expensive.
It's true.
Like
Yes.
if you have used naturopathy in the past where you might leave every session, two, three, $400 lighter out of the pocket. That's not going to happen with flower essences, yet you're going to get um, just really interesting changes. Like it's quite subtle, but some of that subtle's also profound,
Oh, definitely.
where you just go, oh, that's just not bothering me anymore. It's a bit like kinesiology can do that on some issues, but the flower essence, I actually use the flower essences now to support the kinesiology work that I've done so
Yep.
that because when people go home, they've only been with me hour and a half sort of thing. Life out there hasn't really changed all that much, but you have changed profoundly. But you also then need to fit the new you into what you want to be going forward.
And
And
an essence like walnut is absolutely brilliant for that because walnut is really good. I think it's one of the essences I use the most because it's really good for change, which if you've had a kinesiology session, you're going to be changing the person. But it's also got, if you think about a walnut, it's got that hard shell around it. So it gives the person protection. So as you're changing, you feel safe to make the changes that you're going to be making. And it's a really great starting essence or really great continuing essence. It's probably one of the essences I go through the most
okay.
in my cupboard because it's so good for so many of that changes. And really, if someone's coming to a health professional, they're not wanting to stay the same. They're wanting to change, right?
That's right. Exactly. That's why they're there. So where does it fit for babies, children, animals? Like, is there any risk there of, can you overdose? I guess is the
Great question. And the answer is they're really safe. So they're safe for all ages because you're working on that energetic thing. So you can imagine if a child, if a mum is really upset or sad or stressed about her new baby, the baby's going to pick that up and be stressed and cry more and be more irritable and harder to settle and all of those things. So the mum can take the flower essence, but she could equally as well give it to the baby. And whether that's because it comes through in her milk or she, as she's feeding the baby, gives the baby a couple of drops, that's a perfect way for her to help calm the baby as well.
Mm.
Calm mum, calm
Mm.
baby, calm mum.
Mm.
You know, which came first?
Well, one of the questions I ask on my sign-up sheet for kinesiology is, what was mum's pregnancy like carrying you? Now, most people don't know, they've not had that discussion with their mum, but we can extrapolate like, oh, your baby number 3, and she had 3 kids in 4 years, so was 5 years.
Yep.
You can automatically go, well, mum was busy.
Yeah.
Was mum in a happy marriage? Was there like real financial pressures? What, did they have a house to live in? Did you know, like there's all those sort of questions, because while mum was pregnant with you, every stress she had, you got as a baby. You
Absolutely.
got her adrenaline, you got her cortisol if it was bad enough. If yeah.
Yep.
So oh, that's really interesting.
With pets, sorry,
No,
with
go.
pets, one of the things I say is I'm very big on the ethics of flower essences. And that means that if someone is taking a flower essence, they need to be involved in the process. Now, that's easy for us to do as, you know, we make a decision to take someone or we don't. If it's a child or the child's in your care, I allow you as an adult to be responsible for the children in your care. With pets, if we decide that we want to give the pet a flower essence, I say you put it in a bowl of the water, but you give them a second bowl that doesn't have any. So they have choice and they can choose. And pets know. Pets understand these things. Now, if a pet is really not in a very healthy state, it's fine for you to administer an essence to it. But if they're able to make choice, if they're walking around and you're wanting to change their behavior, maybe they're a bit more irritable or maybe they're not very social and you're wanting to change some of those things, I would always advocate that you give them 2 bowls, one with the essence and one without.
That's important. Yeah,
And they
that
have
is
choice
important.
in
Yeah.
the matter. And it's interesting to observe how often they'll go to that bowl with the essence, and you'll know when it's done its bit because they'll stop using it.
Yeah, they're much cleverer than us in ways that we can't even manage.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, thank you very much for that. That was a really good rundown on flower essences and what our plan is. And please let us know in the comments if you've got anything that we want to investigate along this way. But our plan is to now look at the flower essences that frequently come up for Caroline, for clients. And I might chip in what seems to come up within kinesiology. And so we can explore that way. We can even look at 5 flowers, which is also known as rescue remedy, because that's fairly available. I think even at Coles and Woolies.
It is. And now it comes as pastels as well
Yes,
as
sprays,
sprays.
um,
So there's a variety for people.
yeah.
Yep.
And so, and because there are some flower essences that come in creams
Yes.
as well. So Caroline introduced me to a company called Flower Essence Society, or FES, but she is also aware, uses bark remedy as well as Australian bush flowers. And I've, within the kinesiology side of it, was working with Desert Alchemy. So Desert Alchemy and FES are both American flowers. And also you've got a small range that you've actually produced yourself.
Yep.
So if you've got any questions,
And I think that brings up a good point, just talking about that, is often people think because we live in Australia, we should only use Australian essences.
yeah,
And my belief is that each of the essences and each of the essence producers has a different energy about them and how they go about producing the essences. And some essences are produced with water and bowls, and some are produced by not cutting the flowers and things like that. So they all have different energies and different vibrations that go with them. And you think about the country Australia, and it's very dry and harsh and powerful compared to somewhere like, uh, you know, Wales, where it's, got mountains and it's got more greenery and things like that. The plants are quite different. And so the energy of the essences, even if you had the same essence made in two different places, it will be different. And so my comment about should we just use Australian essences is we need to use the essences that's right for us and what we're going through. And whatever company that is,
so it's right for the situation.
It's right for the situation.
Not so much the geography. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, totally.
So have you got anything else you'd like to contribute more, or we can come back to it? Yeah,
I'm
same.
excited about this because I love essences. They've been something I've used for a long time myself.
I'm very passionate about them.
Yes. So I'm very excited about this opportunity. Thank you.
So, wellness agents, thriving in a changing world, and we know there's just always more to learn. Keep your mind open, keep your hearts open, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
This content is created for informational purposes only. Always seek the guidance of a qualified health professional with any questions you may have regarding your personal health.